Today we're looking at the Special Projects Dev Diary and what we know so far. In Götterdämmerung, did I say it correctly? Hopefully. I'm gonna get some help with that. I'm gonna ask a German to help me, to learn that. Okay, I promise I will learn how to say it eventually. We've added new ways acquiring super weapons and experimental technology advances. Okay, give you an edge over your opponent. Yeah, this is kind of what we want. We want like the ability to specialize and do kind of crazy things. I'm hoping, from the values I've seen that they've listed in the images, it doesn't look like it's going to be anything super crazy, but I'm hoping there will be a couple fun things. All right, so you've got, they're listing long-range rockets, the atomic bomb, and the land cruiser mega tank. We'll just have to see what that looks like. Yeah, so what I seen was in the video, they're not listing it here, but in the video that they showed this thing, these experimental things are 12,000 IC currently, subject to change, but they're 12,000 IC, and you can put them at the province level. I don't know if they stack, how many you can build, if you can just build one of each, and if you can only build one per nation, when do you build, or how many do you build? These are going to be questions that people are going to ask. Is it worth it? Because it's like you get a 2% bonus ahead of time or something, and it's like you spent 12,000 IC for that. It's like is that cost valuable? There is an air guy, so in multiplayer it might be very worth getting an air scientist, I would suspect, because even with 2% bonus for air, that's going to be big. Maybe Italy and Japan might want the naval guy. Physics, this is probably going to be not used as much if I had to guess, just because like the atomic bomb's going to be like a late game thing that unless you're going for a certain achievement, maybe unless radar comes out under physics and there's a bunch of benefits to that, but it might actually be under air. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to see how it plays out. Experimental research facility to start a special project. However, you cannot start a project just because you have built a facility. In order to start a project, you must also select one breakthrough in the current field and specialization. Breakthroughs are earned in two ways. The fastest in way is by researching related technologies, kind of like the Mio stuff. Yeah, there might be a thing where you might want to rush your modules early on, because you can get a couple specializations and then assign something to it. There's going to be kind of like a meta order to this, I bet. Once you've gotten a breakthrough, you can use it to start a special project, right? From among these are available. Basically, regular technology will give you the chance to start specific special projects. If you focus research on air technology, you will quickly generate breakthroughs in that. Some projects are more advanced, require you to have more than one breakthrough. Okay. With at least one experienced scientist, you generate breakthrough with the science attached with no active project to it. So if you don't have an active project, they generate breakthrough. So it's probably going to be build a facility early, get your scientists just attached to it, and let them bank up some breakthroughs. And then when you get to like the close technology period, where like in 38, where you're going to want fighter threes, you pump them out, and that's when you put your bonuses on. It's going to be something like that. We need to suss it out. All right. Of course, not all projects are available from the game start. Some will be, but some require you to have basic technology in order to become available. For example, special submarine projects are only available once you have researched submarines. Makes sense. Yeah, in order to start the ICBM project, you will need to have completed a few other rocket projects, but also the nuclear warheads project. So this confirms ICBMs and nuclear warheads. Cool. I mean, this is like 1950s, 1960s tech anyways. So the fact that you can get that really early in this game, I think this will make like Cold War mods a lot more intense. So the only thing I'm concerned about here is the 5 major events. Can you select them all at once? Can you queue it up? Is it awkward? Like if I'm in the middle of a battle and I miss, a progress, am I going to be sitting on 0 progress for a bit? Hopefully not. Yeah, it does seem like you get major events, so maybe these are queued so you can click multiple rewards at once. Again, we'll have to see how that plays out, but with the nuclear reactor project, the nuclear reactor building type for you can also get the reactor for free in the same state. Assuming there's space for it. That's going to be something you're going to want to do, is make sure you have a building slot, so you don't get a free building slot. Paradox fix. Give me a building slot too. Like if I research the reactor and built the reactor and it's like under some university, it exists. Give me the space. Can I like bug report already? Like feature request, give me a building slot when you build this. Come on. Come on, like do it. The super heavy railway gun will not only unlock the equipment type attributes, but it will also spawn one on completion. Okay, so it's like you research it, you build it. Okay. Cool. Some projects also require new technologies in the basic tech tree that are not available or even visible if you have not completed the project, special project in question. Okay, so for example, when you complete the V1 project, you will have access to the tech you research in order. This is fine, the bouncing bomb modules, but some projects also unlock new technology in the basic tech tree that are not available or even visible if you haven't completed the special project in question. My only comment about this would be, if you're a really new player and you don't know a tech exists, it would be nice to have it there but grayed out, and then have it like some sort of tooltip to be like, this is only available through a special project or whatever. I think that might be a little bit better from a new player perspective. I mean, the fact that here's the thing, if it's not there, I'm going to get more views. So the fact that it's like stuff is not going to be visible, I can make a video on that and get a ton of views, because people will be like, how do I get V1 rockets? And then, you know, thanks. But yeah, from a gameplay perspective, maybe having fewer things that are hidden might be better. Like, it's, you know, like even now, like researching like the flame tank, it's like, where do you get that? You have to get engineered 2s, right? It's not a research. It's not its own special module. It's just something that's attached to something else. And there's a lot of little examples that are like that. Yeah, so dams are a thing. All right, guys, if I had to guess, it's going to be under here, under small features on week 4. That's probably where they're going to talk about dams. If I had to guess, that's where. Capturing facility. So if you manage to capture an enemy facility with an ongoing project, you will not only get to keep that facility, you'll also earn some progress in that project. An experimental facility needs a scientist leading the work. All major powers and minor countries start with historical scientists, and all countries can recruit more if needed. Scientists have a skill level related to the field in which they work. Some may have more than one. The skill level affects how long prototype iterations take, and thus how long the projects take to complete. Skill level also affects the previously mentioned basic research. We kind of assumed that the theorists in that would. We have included some fantastic special projects that were perceived or started during the year, like British ice cream. Yes! Or the German megatank as well. But we've also tried to stay on a feasible side of things, so some of these might not be very efficient in the early stages and might become more powerful and viable if you research further technologies unlocked by their special forces. In general, most projects will unlock a piece of equipment. So heavy howitzers, parasite mothership aircraft. I don't know what that is, but a unit land cruiser, early helicopter, or the ice carrier, a module, flamethrower tank, earth shaker bomb, and anesthetic tiles, or a building, nuclear reactor, V3. Some projects can boost the existing equipment, and projects that unlock very big things that might also create a unit or production line progress with it. Okay. A few projects have more unique effects, such as the whole project underway replenishment, which unlocks a new feature that naval task force can use. Okay. Yeah, underway replenishment. Okay, so you can refuel. The underway replenishment for a task force is enabled. You won't need to go to port to get refueled. Convoys will come to the basic task force while underway to refuel their tanks. Okay. All right, so we got a bunch here. Flamethrower tank, military engineered vehicles, land cruisers, stronghold network. This looks like the Maginot line. V3 multi-charge caliber. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this kind of looks like the previous rockets. We'll see how that works. Railway guns. Annex ratio percent? What's this? What's annex ratio percent? Hours between redist. Annex ratio. All right, I'm going to keep reading just in case this shows up. I don't know what that is. Annex ratio? Nope, they're just not showing it. Okay. Range 2 kilometers. In the old system, there was one type of rocket, and now there are several V1s, flying bombs. Rocket bases somewhat changed. V2s, however, are classed as ballistic missiles. Ballistic missiles are another type of air mission and are not affected by anti-air. You do have to produce rockets now, so you can assign factors. We made some quality of life improvements to the rocket interface as well, making it easier to select targets, missions, and decide which type of rocket you want. Mission available, so you don't need to pick the mission type. Cool. With the DLC, you will get access to even more special projects, usually featuring entirely new content. Some specific projects might require other DLCs to work, like those that require a designer. For example, the flamethrower tank requires no step. And that's it. Okay. So what's this annex ratio? That's what I'm wondering. What? It's max speed, cost. Yeah, this kind of looks mostly similar to what we had. These are just a couple new extra stats that I don't know what they do. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to try to cover all of the mechanics that they have in this update.